He's off to a good start. Oh, man, what form. He's really making this look easy. Into an L.
Out against Michael Jordan that sent Eddie Johnson of Indiana to the line for the game-winning shot. So the Knicks control the opening tip. Knicks and Bulls playing back-to-back game 4 here tomorrow night. We'll have it on ABC as John Starks opens up by finding some room and hitting the jump shot.
His first jump shot in the series set up by the nice big pick by Patrick Ewing after John Starks ran the baseline screen.
The Bulls have been out of sync offensively. It has not been the usual rhythm. In game 1, you recall Michael Jordan taking a host of shots. Jordan opens up with a three-point attempt. And then in game 2, he looked to distribute the ball, took his time at the start, wanted others to get involved.
Admitted he was a little bit tired at the beginning of that ball game, lacked energy.
Luke Longley. And the game is tied at 2.
Well, rebounding has been a major problem for the Knicks in this series, giving up 18 offensive rebounds in each game, but a lot of them have come in the early minutes of each first quarter. Dennis Rodman getting one here to give the Bulls another opportunity to score, and they cash in.
Here is Mason. And that is somewhat out of his range, but was able to hit over Rodman. The Knicks 4 and the Bulls 2. Now Pippen guarded by Mason. Harper opening against Jordan. Oakley checking Rodman. Jordan posting up. Mason helping. Shot clock at 4. Down to 2. Down to 1. Jordan gets it off. Rodman tried to save it, but it's carried out of bounds.
Well, normally Anthony Mason does his damage inside a rare jump shot opportunity against one of the members of the all-defensive team, against Dennis Rodman, and right away the tongue-out a la of Michael Jordan. I think he was sticking it out at Dennis Rodman. He doesn't believe he should be first-team all-defensive. A lot of other people don't think so either.
Well, Patrick Ewing was able to get the good position, and the Knicks now lead 6-2. Jordan, he was surrounded as he hits on his first field goal. Michael telling us earlier that the back feels very good. Jim Gray related. Travel called on Oakley. Michael said he was able to go to the weights today for the first time since his back has bothered him, so you know he's feeling much better.
And the Bulls that time not going to any kind of set offense, going for early offense, getting Michael in post position quickly.
Here's Scottie Pippen. And Starks with the hustle rebound. Ramming with Pippen. And Hugh Hollins calling a block on Pippen.
Well, John Starks looking to make something happen. A little bit out of control here, but Scottie Pippen clearly moving over to get to that block off that sideline. A good call by referee Hugh Hollins, and no complaint from Scottie Pippen.
The Knicks have hit their first 3 shots. 3 minutes gone by. Ewing. And you can hear the rumbling from the crowd reacting to the shot by Ewing.
Well, forced to take actually a bad shot. It looked like Patrick was open, but so slow to steal.
Jordan had it knocked away. Harper slowed down, and it cost. He was trying to draw a foul, but Jordan was able to break it up.
Well, Michael's so quick. He has had some minor ball handling problems. This time trying to do too much with it as Oakley knocked it loose. Harper, you could see, looking over his right shoulder, felt the footstep, didn't see Jordan coming on his left.
And the call against Chicago. Scottie Pippen picks up his second. Remember, the Bulls are shorthanded on the front line because of the back injury suffered in practice yesterday by Tony Kukoc. Wild shot by Harper looking for the three-pointer. The Knicks 6 and the Bulls 4. Jordan. Well, you know Michael's feeling better. We did not see that post-up move frequently Tuesday night in game 2.
And no help from the New York defense even after Michael put it on the floor. He'll kill Harper unless they come down in that post spot.
Mason. And Longley reaches for the rebound. gone by. Oakley from deep. Starks knocking it away. And it will be Chicago back in possession.
Well, the Bulls coming into this game without Tony Kukoc know they're going to struggle for some offense while they have the mismatch size-wise with the Jordan inside on Ron Harper. I should say Derek Harper. They're going to it almost exclusively.
You mentioned that the Bulls looking for Kukoc for offense. Of course, he was not providing that offense, but the threat always there that he would break out. But his shooting was off. Harper, air ball, handled by the Knicks' Derek Harper. The Knicks also, over the first two games, not getting the kind of ball movement that they did in the previous series against Cleveland. One count, Longley committing the foul before the shot attempt.
Well, in that Cleveland series, the reason they were getting such good ball movement and open shots was anytime Patrick Ewing made a move inside, he drew the double team, and he gave the ball up quickly, which gave John Starks in particular a lot of good looks. I'm surprised the Knicks haven't gone back to John getting the first field goal of the game and looked sharp. Haven't gone no since.
Ewing on the ball fake. Finds Starks for three. Starks has hit on his first two attempts. The Knicks 9, the Bulls 6. Jordan. And the Knicks want to run. Mason. For Oakley. Well, the Bulls able to get back. Knicks are not a good transition team.
And a couple of times now where Oakley has touched the ball in transition. Very tentative, very unsure with what to do. He should just pass it.
Timeout is taken by Phil Jackson with 6:36 to go in this opening quarter. The Knicks with a 9-6 lead. Good look by Ewing, finding Starks in three-point territory. And John Starks able to connect on his first three-pointer of the series.
The new Ford Taurus has people talking. Car and Driver noted it's wider, longer, and taller than before. Edward Armand says,
I'm amazed at its size. It's actually bigger than it looks.
Automobile Magazine calls it maybe the best family car ever made. And Maria Stylo adds,
I love it. I've never gotten so many compliments.
the new Ford Taurus. Now with $600 cash back, Taurus starts at just $17,945 or get 2.9% APR financing. Hurry, offer ends soon.
What day helps your small business grow?
It's Friday. Are you free?
Help your business do more business with Sprint's amazing offer. Friday's free for a full year. So get busy.
Same time next week.
And watch your small business grow.
Can't do lunch. It's Friday.
And grow. Call 1-800-598-5000 for Friday's free. It's the busiest day of the week.
It's Friday. Are you free?
Only from Sprint Business.
Get this. She wants to change her name from Heather to Feather.
Dad, recycle.
Bill's going nuts. Save the whales, save the llamas. She's very picky about her food.
Fried chicken.
Bill thinks he's losing his little girl and his Kentucky Fried Chicken. So last night he brings him a bucket.
Hello.
And in it, he's got the original recipe and this new tender roast. It's in pieces. Yeah, it's a whole new deal.
Okay, this is new.
Bill's got his fried pieces. Heather's got her roasted pieces.
Thanks, Dad.
And I've just got peace.
New tender roast. Now, any way you like it, roasted or fried, all you need is a little KFC.
Hello from the Plank Road Lane, where our man Paul and the Plank Road Warriors are here to make a simple little point. This is not smooth. In fact, downright clumsy. This, however, is strikingly smooth. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And what's our team motto? It's not how many strikes or spares you get, it's how fast you get to the beer frame. Thanks, and enjoy.
Well, over the first two games of this series, John Starks has had a difficult time. He told us yesterday that he must get back to his fired up, on the edge mentality.
Oh, no question. You know, I seem to get myself more involved in the game, and of course my teammates seem to follow the lead. You know, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to go out there and just play and have fun. You know, that's the game of basketball is all about. You know, as people want me to calm down, but we can't do that, you know, because you lose energy. And in the playoffs, you have to have a lot of energy and come with a lot of emotion in order to sustain a 48-minute ball game.
And And you saw the energy of Starks pushing it down to set up the layup. And the Knicks now lead 11-6. We're halfway through the first quarter. Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, Jim Gray for Ahmad Rashad. And the ball back to the Knicks.
But John Starks also has to play under control. That means take good shots, make good basketball plays, and he made one there on the fast break, making sure he had the pass receiver Pippen. With Scottie Pippen with 2 fouls, it looked like the Knicks want to go inside against him. When Pippen was guarding Anthony Mason, it was a good matchup for New York. Charles Oakley, who's having some words right now with Ron Harper, discussing the way the start of this game has gone. But Charles Oakley is not a comfortable low post player, but I think the Knicks have to explore it to try to get the third on Pippen.
And Ron Harper just picked up the foul. The 5-point Knick lead represents the biggest lead they've had this series. The Knicks 11 and the Bulls 6. Nice pass from Ewing. Mason. Rebound Mason. So the Knicks, during the regular season, the worst club in the league in the department of offensive rebounding, able to convert on the offensive glass.
So far, Chicago looks flat-footed at both ends of the floor.
And Scottie Pippen off. Here comes Starks. Ewing. And he drew the foul. He was very fortunate putting the ball on the floor. He lost the handle, but the foul called on Longley to bail him out.
Now Scottie Pippen going in with the left hand, a little bit out of control. Collision with Oakley, too far underneath the basket, but the hard elbow by Charles Oakley on his way to go back the other end. All the officials were looking the other way.
Ewing has had major problems at the line in the playoffs. Certainly the case in the fourth quarter. Here's Bill Wennington, New York area product, played his college ball at St. John's, replacing Luke Longley, who departs after picking up his second foul. Knicks 15, Bulls 6, 9-0 run for New York. Chicago has missed its last 6 shots. Apparently some perspiration on the ball, handled by Ed Rush.
The Bulls have been looking over to the Chicago bench to see what Phil wants, but Phil just spent about 30-40 seconds having a long discussion with Luke Longley about the way he was defending Patrick Ewing.
Harper. Ewing rebounds. Nice pass from Starks. The Knicks ball movement has been superb, and they now lead 17-6. Chicago wants to talk it over.
Well, Anthony Mason has been hiding on that baseline, getting behind the defense, giving his teammates an opening to find him, and they have been seeing him as the Bulls defense unable to find him. Dennis Rodman way out of position as Mason gets the finish.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys, correction. There's only one thing in my head, the championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry. That's what's on my mind. This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
For Mr. Blanchard, who told me to make something of myself. For Miss Miller, who never let me settle for a C. For my parents, who believe in my dreams. For myself, for my future.
Be all that you can be.
The loads are getting heavier, and the stumps are just getting more stubborn. You're working harder than ever. You need a truck that does too. Meet the all-new 1997 Ford F-150. Our new Triton V8 cranks out even more power and torque. Our V6 out-muscles every standard truck engine in its class. And the first scheduled tune-up's 100,000 miles away. After all, the road's not getting any shorter. The new Ford F-150. Strength after strength after strength.
First in business.
Another hot stock today.
First in talk.
It's a controversial issue.
We have excitement in the building tonight. CNBC. It's a wealth of information.
Well, playoff defense is physical. Patrick Ewing saying, not in my house. You cannot come across the lane. And that's what you got to do. Get in the path and force the man out. And no, you are not going to the offensive boards this time, says Charles Oakley as he gets the elbow up into the chest of Dennis Rodman.
The Bulls have gone 4 minutes without scoring. 0 for 7 from the field. Both these teams have gone through drought periods over the first 2 games. Bulls missing their last 7 shots. Here's Starks with the steal. And a little extra provided by John Starks as the Knicks now lead 19-6. A 13-0 run by New York.
Well, the Bulls offense is not a motion offense, but it does require ball movement and flare movement. And so far, Chicago basically standing around. That lets the Knicks get in passing lane.
Michael Jordan ends the Knick run. So Jordan, 3 of 7. He has 6 points. The Knicks 19 and the Bulls 8. Ewing and Weddington getting involved. And again the foul against Chicago. That's number 1 on Weddington.
Patrick Ewing trying to set up down low, and Bill Wennington trying to do the same thing that Patrick Ewing did a little bit earlier, making the bump. Make it out high so the offensive player can't get good post position. The Knicks suffer with their offense because a lot of it is so stationary. One of the reasons why they are not a good offensive rebounding team, and one of the good reasons why Chicago is normally one of the best offensive rebounding teams, besides Dennis Rodman, is they get a lot of movement, a lot of action, and it's tougher to get your defensive body on the offensive rebounding.
And in the personal foul department, 6 calls against Chicago, none against the Knicks. The Bulls are over the limit. George with a pretty move. And he'll go to the line. And that is the first foul called on the Knicks. The Bulls had gone 4 minutes and 29 seconds between points before Jordan a moment ago was able to hit. And now Michael will shoot 2.
And referee Hugh Hollins underneath the basket talking to both Charles Oakley and Dennis Rodman, telling them that's enough. I'm not going to take any more of it. He's talking about the jawing and the complaining that's going on and the physical nature of their play. Both of them are going to have to watch it. In particular, Dennis Rodman, because of the absence of Tony Kukoc. As Phil said before the game, he's expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 minutes and 40 minutes of composure from Dennis Rodman.
Able to take it out of the hands of Ewing. Illegal defense against the Knicks for the first time. 3.5 remaining in the first quarter. And the Knicks with a 20-9 lead. Michael Jordan accounting for 7 of the 9 Chicago points. The other basket scored by Luke Longley. Now Jordan to the post-up. The help came late, but it forced Jordan to give it up. Knicks doing a nice job off the boards, keeping it away from Rodman.
Well, there it is so far. Michael Jordan taking the bulk of the shots. Nobody else seemingly get involved. And Michael in that post position until that last time has been able to go one-on-one. Oakley came over to force things, and Patrick Ewing did a good job of getting a body on Rodman.
Off the steal, here's Pippen, but 3 Knicks get back. Pippen for 3. Well, Scottie Pippen continues to have his shooting problems. Over the first 2 games, 11 of 36 from the field. He had that one good spurt in the 4th quarter on Tuesday. The steal by Harper.
Well, the Knicks defense backing off now, just letting the Bulls throw the ball around the perimeter. They started out the game with some good pressure.
Deflected out by the ball.
Well, so far, the big men of New York, Patrick Ewing and Oakley in particular. And now a turnover here. The ball's going to go back to Chicago.
Now, apparently a change of the call.
Okay.
Ed Rush overruling the earlier call.
But Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley doing a good job of keeping their body between, whether it's Wennington or Longley, but in particular Dennis Rodman. But where the Knicks are really going to have to get it is from their guards. They have not chipped in the rebounding department. The starting guards, Starks and Harper, only 6 defensive rebounds in the 2 games played.
Steve Kerr has come on for the first time, and Charlie Ward, who missed game 2 with a stomach virus, stepping on the floor. Charlie Ward played very well in the previous series against the Cavaliers. Pippen going last. Scottie Pippen with his first field goal. He was 0 for 5. Pass intended for Oakley. It took a hit from Rodman. A hard hit offered up. And a technical foul being called. Hugh Hollins indicating the T on Rodman.
Well, the sharp pass from John Starks to Oakley, who felt pressure from behind, and the hard hit by Dennis Rodman. And as Oakley was hit, he flung back an elbow in the face area of Dennis Rodman.
So John Starks shooting the technical. The Knicks 21 and the Bulls 11. Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley leading the way in this department, followed by Gary Payton, Anthony Mason. Now Pippen will sit down, replaced by John Bushler.
Well, Scottie Pippen picked up 2 quick personal fouls, looked over to the bench at that point and asked Phil to let him go for a while, which he did. The Knicks did not really take advantage of it by trying to go right at Scottie Pippen to pick up the 3rd.
22nd timeout called by the Knicks. Mason could not find anyone to inbound the ball. 2 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in this first quarter. You see Phil Jackson in a discussion with Dennis Rodman following that technical. Checking out game 1 of the series in Chicago last Sunday. The Bulls winning 91-84. Michael came out shooting 35 shots in all, 44 points. John Starks, though, 0 for 9 for the field, coming off the sensational 3-point shooting in the series against Cleveland. And then game 2 on Tuesday at the United Center. Scottie Pippen with 19 points, did not have the touch, but 9 of the 19 came in the 4th quarter. Dennis Rodman with a 19 rebound performance.
And by the way, a slight rebounding edge for the Knicks in this first quarter, 9-5. That's a good sign for New York.
Starks and Rodman able to sweep it. Only the 2nd rebound for Dennis. The Knicks lead by 10. And the call against the Knicks, a holding foul. It is on Starks. So the Bulls get a new 24.
John Starks is now in the matchup with Michael Jordan. He has not spent a lot of time so far this series guarding Michael. He's got him here.
Jordan going for the spin and a foul before the shot attempt. And it's apparent that Michael, as we mentioned earlier, is feeling very well physically because he's back to the spin move. We've seen the fadeaway. These are all moves that were not seen on Tuesday night in game 2.
And I don't really know where the foul is there. I think that's just good, tough, aggressive defense by John Starks. Foul problems hurt him in game 2 as he had to go to the bench early. So far he has stayed out here, but as soon as he got to Michael Jordan, for whatever reason, the officials are watching that very closely. But I thought he played good post defense, got around, and I didn't really see a foul.
Hubert Davis has come on for John Starks. Let's check in with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Marv, Scottie Pippen hurt his left shoulder. He collided on a pick with Charles Oakley. He's down here on the end of the bench trying to lift his left arm up, bothering him a little bit. He just told me he will return, but it is bothering him. Marv?
Well, Michael Jordan has missed 2 free throws, 2 of 4 at the line. Incidentally, the dean of sideline reporting, Ahmad Rashad, not with us today, receiving an honorary degree of Doctor of Journalism as Charlie Ward takes the hit. The University of Puget Sound, back in his home area in Tacoma, Washington. So the dean, Matt, is now a doctor. Very impressive in filling in for the dean, or is it the doctor? Another man of great distinction, Jim Burrow.
Charlie Ward on the free throw line, unable to play earlier in the series because of a stomach virus, unable to even attend the last game. But Jeff Van Gundy and the Knicks expect a little bit of rebounding help from Charlie Ward as well, because the guards for New York have come up short in that area.
The Knicks 23 and the Bulls 12. And some pressure from Ward. Here's Bushler. Jordan. Now drawn in by Mason. You recall in game 1, Jeff Van Gundy opened up with Anthony Mason going against Michael Jordan. And this call away from the ball, a hold against the Knicks. So the Knicks over the foul limit. And Bushler to the line. Hubert Davis called for the foul. Judd Bushler in his 6th NBA season. Out of Arizona, getting the playing time here in the early going with Tony Kukoc sidelined by the bad back.
So far, the Knicks defense outstanding, holding the Bulls to just 5 for 18 from the field. 28%, but a lot of grabbing and holding off the ball by New York, and the officials are starting to notice it.
And here's some pressure by the Bulls. They've been going with soft pressure, particularly when Mason has the ball. Just under 1 minute left in this first quarter. Ewing. Knicks lead by 11. Good start for Ewing. He has 7. Ewing, the last couple of days, certainly hearing the criticism off his poor performances in the 4th quarter. Michael Jordan with the bucket, and then some words for his friend Charles Oakley.
I'm sure telling him, friend, you can't guard me out on the floor. You're fun in your eye.
25-16 Knicks. Mason and Rodman involved in a foul on Mason, floated by Rodman. Offensive foul called on Mason.
Well, Anthony Mason trying to set up shop in the low post, and Dennis Rodman was just acting there. There was no real contact, but just the flailing of the arms and the body, fooling referee Hugh Hollins from behind and getting the favorable whistle.
Willie Anderson checks in, and Patrick Ewing will get a rest. 7 points, 4 rebounds for Ewing. Willie Anderson has seen only spot duty since coming over from Toronto late in the season. Bulls setting up for a final shot of this first quarter. Anderson is guarding Jordan.
And it looks like Charlie Ward wants to help out. He better not leave Steve Kerr too open.
And the foul on Anderson won't count. Foul before the shot attempt. And again, Jordan to the line. Michael Jordan has accounted for 10 of the Bulls' 16 points.
Well, the officials are calling it very, very close, and watching the banging of the bodies of the big men on the outside, watching off-the-ball fouls. I assume they have been reading the papers as well and keeping up with the way this series is going and making sure they keep this thing under control. A lot of volatile players and personalities out on the floor.
And Jordan, 2 of 5 at the line. Early entrance for John Sally. Phil Jackson doing much shuffling here in this first quarter. 5 and 8/10 seconds to go. 8-point Nick lead. Mason slowed down, able to get it down. Davis won't count. Waved off. So after 1, here at Madison Square Garden, New York, it's the Knicks 25 and the Bulls 17. Jordan with 11 of the 17 Chicago points. The Bulls only 6 of 19 from the field. We'll be back in a moment.
all kinds of reasons we designed Ford Windstar to be so safe, with over 40 standard safety features, including dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Reasons it received 5 stars, the highest possible rating in government crash tests, higher than any other minivan. In fact, there are so many reasons we designed Ford Windstar as safe as we did, it's impossible to pick our favorite one. Ford Windstar, now available with $1,000 cash back.
You ever notice the face of your kid on the way to McDonald's? His eyes light up. He smiles uncontrollably. And he just gets so happy. Come on, Dad. Some things never change.
Now McDonald's has a new kind of burger, the Arch Deluxe, with the taste, toppings, and big size grown-ups love. The new Arch Deluxe, the burger with the grown-up taste, also available with bacon.
This here freight train. He's Pablo. Me, I'm Motif. There's only one drink fat enough to quench our thirst, and that's Turbo Sport 7.
Cut! Genius! The can's upside down.
Don't talk to me like a child. I played Hamlet at Cambridge.
Once again, you've ruined my concentration.
Excuse me. What's my motivation?
When you're thirsty, trust your gut, not some actor.
That's it. I am going to my trailer.
In racing, there's no margin for error. The crew follows the same procedures every time the car pulls into the pits. It's the same way at Jiffy Lube. We follow the same strict procedures more than 50,000 times a day. It's your assurance that when you bring your car to Jiffy Lube, the job will be done right. And Jiffy Lube offers Pennzoil. Jiffy Lube, the world's most experienced oil changers. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
You're watching the NBA on NBC. The 1996 NBA playoffs.
Well, there's been a bit of sniping between these two clubs during the course of this series. Exchanges between the coaches, Jeff Van Gundy and Phil Jackson. The incident in Game 2 between assistant coach Jim Clemens of the Bulls and Patrick Ewing. We've talked about all of this with Michael Jordan.
I think it's just a mental positioning of coaches trying to get into each other's head and get into the opposite player's head and see if it affects the way that they play. I think it's very important for us not to listen to that. I mean, all the comments and whatever is done on the basketball court is done on the basketball court, and whatever is said in the press is usually for the mental edge going into the next game. So I don't think too many of us are listening to that, and all the criticism is to try to get the referees to think one other way, and others trying to combat what the other is doing. It's more or less a soap opera, really.
And Coach Jeff Van Gundy of New York apparently upset with all that talk, but calling it psychobabble and saying, well, when you have number 23 on your team, you can do that talking because he can back it up for you.
Scottie Pippen between quarters 1 and 2, taking the ice from trainer Chip Schaefer, apparently icing the shoulder. Scottie Pippen is back on the floor. Dennis Rodman with an air ball and claiming that he was fouled. Knicks are going with a small lineup as Ewing remains on the bench. They have Oakley and Mason as their big men, along with Ward, Anderson, and Davis. Second quarter just underway. Shot clock at 5. Knicks lead by 8 points. Anderson shooting for 3. And rebounded by Ward. Nice pass for Anderson. Charlie Ward provides help off the boards. He can leap and very aggressive. Steve Kerr with a nice move. So the Bulls are within 6.
I was watching the Knicks coaching staff where Willie Anderson missed that point-blank layup. They just all grimaced in pain. Those are the kind of field goals that the Knicks have to cash in on, because when you don't, generally what happens at the other end, the other team scores easily.
Oakley set up by Ward. Well, the Knicks upset with the high number of layups that they missed in Game 2. Pippen off the ball fake. Stolen by Ward. Charlie Ward. And the Knicks now lead 29-19.
Careless pass by Scottie Pippen, jumping in the air and just laying it out. And the Knicks much quicker on their feet than the Bulls so far this afternoon.
2 minutes gone by in the second. Here's Pippen. Scottie Pippen going high off glass. And the Knicks now lead by 8. For Pippen, only his second field goal.
And you really don't, if you're New York, you don't mind that shot because it was a challenged shot by Anthony Mason. He actually forced Scottie to adjust it, but he was lucky enough to get it off the glass up and in.
Open shot for Anderson. Way off, but converted by Oakland. The Knicks led by as many as 13. They had a 19-6 edge at one point. They are now up by 10, 31-21. And Rodman playing the post. Dennis Rodman.
Well, Michael Jordan told us before the game that Dennis has to be an offensive threat. They don't expect a lot of production, but they expect him to at least be a threat other than on the offensive glass. But you don't see Dennis Rodman making post moves like that very often.
Rodman is an excellent passer out of the post. That time he was able to go glass off the spin. Here's Pippen backing his way on Davis. The move, he had Davis beaten, but could not convert. No foul call. Ward passed on the 3. Up to the left hand. Charlie Ward has spawned the Knicks here in the second quarter, as he did on a number of occasions against the Cavaliers. The feeling is he's a big game player going back to his football days at Florida State, and he has really come on in the playoffs. Knicks now lead by 10. Pippen getting possession. And Oakley with the rebound. And again, you can see Ward crashing the boards, and he's making a difference.
And the Knicks have an advantage now if they can get to the basket. No shot blocking for Chicago there. However, Pippen will get one occasionally. Jordan will as well, but no big people in there.
Foul called on Bushler. Timeout taken. The Knicks hearing it from this crowd.
Well, Charlie Ward able to knife in between Rodman and Pippen. No big body in there to take up space. Nobody to challenge the shot, as the Knicks feeling good about it.
Robinson and the Spurs face Malone and the Jazz. Game 3 next on NBC.
All great cars are built from the ground up. But to build something truly extraordinary, we had to dig a little deeper. Introducing the new Acura CL Coupe. Further proof that luxury doesn't have to be boring.
People say in the town of Flatwoods, the most exciting thing to do is sit around and watch the paint dry, especially when it's Behr Premium Plus, only from Home Depot.
It's going on so smoothly.
Nice color.
It's 100% acrylic.
It's like putting a plastic shell on your house.
And since Behr has a 15-year guarantee, these people know they won't be seeing this much excitement again for quite a while. Behr Premium Plus, the premium paint with a Home Depot price.
If you passionately believe in what you're doing, you can achieve almost anything in life. We couldn't have an idea in the bath in the morning and have it up and working by the afternoon. We like to think of Virgin as a flexible company, and I think American Express is very flexible as well. You can use the card to buy a CD, or you can use it to go off and travel around the world.
Making his way from Chicago and hearing the boos from the crowd, and Woody Allen always on hand. Soon Yi.
Well, big keys for the Knicks and why they have a 10-point lead is that they have controlled the backboards 15-8, only giving up 2 offensive rebounds to Chicago so far. They have turned it over 5 times, the Knicks have, but have only given up 3 points off those 5 turnovers.
Post-up move by Mason. The rebound is handled by Rodman. That's 4 rebounds for Rodman. You see what the Knicks are able to do down low. This very unusual for the Knicks, in particular against Chicago. Knicks lead by 10. Pippen with a nice move. Scottie Pippen able to get inside with the floater.
Well, the Bulls have made a conscious effort since Scottie Pippen came back into this ballgame to get him involved offensively. Chicago knows they're going to need offensive punch, especially without Tony Kukoc. Even though Kukoc was not a scoring factor in the first two games, he gives the Bulls so much versatility at the offensive end with his playmaking ability.
Now Jordan guarded by Anderson. He has seen a number of looks here today. Jordan with the spin. Oh, what a move by Michael Jordan. It appeared that Willie Anderson had played him well.
An unfair look there. Just a move that got Willie Anderson moving towards the baseline, and he almost broke his ankles on that play as Jordan able to shake free. Scottie Pippen cutting across the lane in the triangle offense for the easy lay-in, and then Jordan working hard against Willie Anderson, and a little move to the baseline, and that shook him free from Willie Anderson.
You don't take orders from anyone but the sea. The harder you work, the
Patrick Ewing making his way back onto the floor. Now Jeff Van Gundy sat about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Is that a move by Jeff looking ahead, perhaps seeking a well-rested Ewing for the fourth quarter? There you see Patrick's coach at Georgetown, John Thompson, who takes in as many games as he can featuring his former players.
I think it is a move by Jeff to try to keep Patrick Ewing as fresh as possible throughout the game, in particular come the fourth quarter. I don't think he's thinking at all about the back-to-back situation with the game today and tomorrow late afternoon.
Scottie Pippen with the steal on the deflection. The Knicks have led by as many as 13. It's down to a 6-point lead. And a hack called on Mason. Jordan anticipating the foul and applauded the call by Ed Rush.
Well, Michael had complained bitterly during game two. He felt that Derek Harper was ticking him on the elbow on many of his jump shots and not getting the call. This time Michael bailed out by Anthony Mason because Michael was never really sure with the basketball. Was having trouble gathering on his way up for the jump shot and put up what looked like was going to be a weak shot. And then Anthony Mason, not on the elbow, that was more along the arm there. And Ed Rush, the slot official over on the right side, clearly saw it.
Mason sitting down. So Jordan is now 5 of 8 at the line. It's a 4-point Knicks lead. Derek Harper is back. Oakley, Ewing, Anderson up front with Harper and Starks at the guards. Miscommunication, and the ball back to Chicago. Ron Harper has returned, as has Luke Longley. Starks over to strip Jordan. John Starks for Willie Anderson. And a 3-second violation.
Willie Anderson thought that John Starks was going to shoot the ball, but I really like the way John is playing so far in this ballgame. Very aggressive, attacking the basket, making the proper pass, and not forcing any shots.
Pippen trying to set up Rodman, not expecting the pass. Starks on the run, finding Harper. He's been off. Rebound Rodman.
And Michael wants to slow things down the last 2 times Chicago had the ball. Careless turnovers. He wants to make sure they come down and get a good shot, only trailing by 4.
Pippen. Bulls have picked up the shooting, though, in the second quarter after the poor shooting effort. 6 of 19 in the first quarter. Willie Anderson with the shot. And the foul. Anderson going at Luke Longley. And that is 3 on the Chicago center.
Well, the Knicks swinging the ball over to the right side, trying to set a little two-man game for Willie Anderson. And Phil Jackson very upset with Luke Longley for not getting to that position a lot sooner. Actually, Luke got a pass to the ball, but Luke's head is under the net. He's got to step out a lot further than that, as that unbridled enthusiasm by John Starks, appreciating the contribution from Willie Anderson.
Willie Anderson getting the playing time today. He was acquired from Toronto, was averaging 12 a game for the Raptors following his 7 years with San Antonio, an injury-hit career as a member of the Spurs. 6-point Knick lead, 5 minutes to go, first half. Here's Ron Hoffer, kept alive. Pippen had it knocked away. John Sally, who came on for Luke Longley, able to retrieve. And they'll reset. Pippen. Rebounded by Oakland. So Pippen is now 3 for 12 from the field. Outside official Hugh Hollins with the call against the Bulls. It's on Sally, being called for a hand check.
Well, the Knicks taking an awful lot of time getting that ball into Patrick Ewing. Oakley and Rodman banging each other. Scottie Pippen in there as well, as looks like Oakley wants to hit anything with the red shirt on and hit it hard.
Starks. John Starks hit from downtown earlier. His first three-pointer of this series. We come up on 4 minutes remaining, first half. Jordan, yes. Michael Jordan brings the Bulls within 4. Jordan has 17 of Chicago's 31 points. Anderson cutting. Did not handle the pass. And last touch by the Knicks. Crowd reacting to the call. They felt the Bulls deflected it out. Phil Jackson now has Ron Hoffer, Michael Jordan in the backcourt, John Sally, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen up front.
Well, the thing that has to worry Jeff Van Gundy and the Knicks is they have played very strong, tough basketball. The Bulls have not, yet Chicago only down 4.
Make it 2 as Jordan adds a couple more. He now has 19. Here's some light pressure that forced Derek Hoffer to back it up. Hoffer got the step. And Rodman hit from behind by Oakland.
Well, Derek Harper has had his problems on the inside with Michael Jordan, able to post him up and take that fadeaway jumper. This time, Michael waited, and that little hesitation, a little back step by Derek Harper enabled Michael to raise up and shoot a jumper, and Jordan will get his first rest of this ballgame. And I guess Jeff Van Gundy would say, hey, of course the Chicago Bulls don't have to play their best basketball, because when you have number 23 on your team, he can bail you out.
But that is a cop-out. They do have number 23. You know, you're not subtracting the guy. He's here. Pippen just making contact with the front rim. And he's continued to have his shooting problems. Steve Kerr has replaced Michael Jordan, who sits down with 19. It's a 2-point Knick lead. It will be Knick ball when we come back.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Your turn, man. When you've got the great taste of a nice cold Miller Lite, life is good.
I think she digs you.
Really?
No. Beyond the sea,
Now you can launch your business into cyberspace with a new toll-free 888 number from AT&T. It gives you all the benefits of an 800 number and a free listing on the internet. where millions of customers can find your number, check out your home page, and order your products.
Your order's flying out the door.
One small step for you, one giant leap for your business. Toll-free 888 from AT&T for the life of your business.
All great cars are built from the ground up. But to build something truly extraordinary, we had to dig a little deeper. Introducing the new Acura CL Coupe. Further proof that luxury doesn't have to be boring.
The blockbuster motion picture comes to NBC. Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Pollak, and Noah Wyle.
You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
A Few Good Men, Sunday at an early time, 8/7 Central on NBC.
And coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll hear from Charles Smith, the guy who started this year with the Knicks, but is now a starter for the San Antonio Spurs. His team plays the Utah Jazz in Game 2 today. That series is tied at 1 apiece. We'll also hear from Julius Erving and Peter Bessie on the first half of the Bulls and Knicks. New York now leads it by 2 as we go back to Marv, Matt, and Jim.
Thank you, Bob. Bulls in the midst of a 10-2 run. 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Michael Jordan getting his first rest of the afternoon. He has accounted for 58% of the Bulls' points, and as I say that, he checks back in. Michael, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from the line for 19 points. All 7 field goals have been jump shots.
And once again, the absence of Tony Kukoc will precipitate the fact that Michael will have to play more minutes, as well as Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, and has broken up the normal rotation for Phil Jackson.
Dennis Rodman is playing all the way. Derek Hopper, 0 for 3 for the field. Good play by Mason. Mason with the steal. Starks shaking on the turf. John Starks relocating the touch. 4 of 6, 10 points. The Knicks 37, the Bulls 33.
And the way John has shot the ball the way that he is playing, the Knicks should have, at least in this first half, found more scoring opportunities for John.
Shot clock down to 5. Jordan squeezing it off. Just to beat the 24. Hopper playing that wild outlet. But the Bulls able to get back. Ewing putting the move on Sally. And a foul. The basket won't count. The hold called on Sally.
Well, in this fast break opportunity, Scottie Pippen actually has Michael Jordan ahead of the pack, but didn't see him initially. And then an ill-advised cross-court pass looking for Steve Kerr. Good hustle play by Mason to get back defensively, as John Starks has looked very sharp on his perimeter jump shot here this afternoon.
Bulls with their 4th team foul. Sally sits down. Bill Wennington is back. Minute 40 to go in the first half. The Knicks have led by as many as 13. They're up by 4. Starks feeling corner for Starks. And the Knicks lead by 7.
And Anthony Mason coming out to set that pick. The Knicks do not feel that Dennis Rodman defends well out on the floor. They want to get him involved as much as possible defensively away from the basket.
Here is Kerr setting up for himself, doing it off the dribble. And the Knicks now lead by 5. Steve Kerr with his 2nd field goal. We're down to 1 minute to go. First half. Ewing got the step. And rejected by Rodman. Brilliant play by Rodman. Providing help, coming over to make the block.
Well, he may not defend well out on the perimeter, but he certainly does around the basket. Not known as a shot blocker, but he saw that play coming all the way.
Shot clock at 5. Oakley posting up. Well, that's a rare move for Charles Oakley. He has 6 points. Knicks by 7.
Scottie Pippen with 2 personal fouls wisely let Oakley go ahead and make his play.
Jordan putting moves on. And he draws the foul. The Knicks are looking for a palming violation. Well, appealing to Hugh Hollins.
Well, let's watch it. See if Michael turned that one over a little bit. Nevertheless, Oakley gets a hard foul in there on Michael Jordan going to the basket. I'd have to say, Marv, over the years, Michael has gotten away with that little bit of getting under the ball and gaining an advantage as if he ever needed one. And also because of the size of his hands, able to palm the ball and sometimes gain an advantage. He certainly doesn't need it.
20 for Jordan. 20 of the Bulls, 36 points. 33, 9/10 seconds remaining first half. Looked like Ewing took a poke. Rodman, Weddington, Ewing, Oakley all involved. And you saw the call made, a technical foul. Ewing taking a shot at the side of the face, right near the right eye, as a technical was called on Charles Oakley. Apparently, the shot that Ewing took in aftermath to the involvement of Oakley, and Jordan will shoot the tee.
Well, Charles Oakley and Rodman have been tangled up around the basket throughout this whole first half. But I also think Dennis Rodman taking exception to the fact that he felt that was an extra hard foul by Oakley on Michael Jordan on the play before. And actually, it was Oakley pushing Rodman in to Patrick Ewing.
Pressure on Starks. He's able to keep the dribble alive. Very fortunate. Off the double team by the Bulls. 10 on the shot clock. Down to 15 seconds remaining in the half. 5 on the shot clock. Harper. And a loose ball foul against the Bulls.
Well, on the free throw attempt and make by Michael Jordan, Oakley and Rodman pushing each other, and Rodman pushed in to the side of the face by Patrick Ewing as Dennis Rodman felt the effects of that. And at the other end of the floor, Charles Oakley working against 3 Chicago Bulls in trying to get to the offensive glass. And he has been extremely physical in this first half, just banging away at everybody in sight.
Oakley's done the job off the boards with 7 rebounds. Scottie Pippen back, Bill Weddington departing. Let's check in with Jim Gray, who was very close to what took place just a moment ago at the other end of the floor. There's Patrick Ewing headed back to the Knicks locker room with 10 seconds to go in the half. Let's go to Jim.
Marvel, Charles Oakley came over to the bench and told Scottie Pippen, quit crying. All you do is cry. So John Sally said, hey, it's me too. He says, well, all of you guys are a bunch of crybabies. Why don't you get out here on the court and just play? And he said, hey, we're up 2-0. Who's playing? Marv?
Jim getting right into the scene as the sniping continues. Final seconds of the half. Well, the Knicks led by as many as 13. They're up by 5 at halftime as they desperately look to hang on to this best of 7 series, trailing 2-zip coming into today. 43-38 Knicks. Michael Jordan leading the way with 22 points. Bob of the Prudential halftime report in a moment.